Okay, so I already discussed the first, major 8 people for the draft, supplemental draft. Daniel Bryan to SmackDown makes sense. You know, Daniel Bryan wasn't doing an awful lot when it came to him being on Raw. I think he'll do much better on SmackDown. Swagger going over to Raw. You know what? With him essentially going from being Money in the Bank, from being a Money in the Bank winner and a World Heavyweight Champion, to being Cole's corner man, might as well bring him over. Great Khali to SmackDown. Was he still actually on Raw? Jimmy Uso to SmackDown. Eh. Kelly to Raw. Eh. If anything, she's energetic, and you kind of need that because currently the Divas division on Raw with the Bellas is just kind of annoying, and with Eve, she's been floundering hardcore. So I guess throwing in Kelly will kind of help spice it up a little bit. JTG to Raw. Well, I guess they got somebody who can be with R-Truth now. Keep on scrolling. Alicia Fox to SmackDown. Beyond her holding the title for a while, she has been ridiculously unimpressive. William Regal to SmackDown. He was actually on Raw? Huh. I want to see William Regal have a phenomenal series of matches with Daniel Bryan. Go back to good old-fashioned stiff mat wrestling, and people will tune into SmackDown, and it will be absolutely insane. Yoshitatsu to SmackDown. I really don't recall him doing that much on Raw. Maybe he get pretty decent. Maybe he can work a pretty decent tag team with someone like Sin Cara. Maybe if he was Sin Cara. Maybe he would work pretty great against someone like Justin Gabriel. He hasn't done that much on Raw, and he's entertaining, he's exciting, but I don't see him making a huge impact when it comes to SmackDown. Scroll up some more. Alright, Drew McIntyre to Raw. McIntyre has gone from being really good to being kind of stale. He really needs to turn it on right now. So I think if McIntyre plays his cards just right, he'll probably easily be able to fall into that, like, 6-man match when it comes to vying for the WWE Championship. He's got great look, pretty solid ring work, and his character's moved along really well. I think he definitely comes in as kind of like an upper mid heel. Natalya to SmackDown. I don't know. Knowing that later on Beth Phoenix comes over to Raw, keeping those two on opposite shows doesn't make that much sense. You don't want to have those two be on the same show to have them actually feud. But Natalya over as like super strong babyface on SmackDown. Again, the women's division currently is so fractured. If they don't have her just straight up dominate the SmackDown roster for women, it's almost kind of a waste to even have her on the payroll. Kurt Hawkins. I guess we have a new person to vie with Zack Ryder for Jobber of the Week. Chris Masters. Beyond him doing like, the peck shaking thing, has he really done a whole lot? That's gotta be the same. He hasn't really done anything. He came in, he was impressive. He got let go. He came back. I really don't see where he's gonna really fit in. In the pseudo face, lower mid card guy. I don't, unless they're gonna have him be like enhancement talent for someone like Drew McIntyre or R-Truth. I really don't see a huge vie there. Other Uso to SmackDown. Again, to help really push their amazing tag team division on SmackDown, even though one tag champ is on SmackDown, one tag champ is on Raw. I do think they had a really great thing going with the Usos when they first came in as the Usos taking on the Hart Dynasty. And they broke up the Hart Dynasty for some strange reason, and it went absolutely nowhere. So maybe they'll have the Usos feud against maybe a reformed Hart Dynasty. Who knows? Let's keep on scrolling. Kofi Kingston to Raw. With the loss of Sin Cara, who had a decent energetic style but was botching a lot, bring in someone like Kofi, who, for all facts and figures, deserves to be on Raw. You know, energetic, gifted athletically, and the feud he had with Orton was fantastic. I wouldn't actually mind seeing Kofi maybe have a feud with Punk. Since, you know, Kofi feuded with Orton, Orton's feuded with Punk, I could see those two probably having a really good, solid feud. Ted DiBiase going to SmackDown. You know, he really does need this. He ridiculously needs this. He has floundered non-stop. Non-stop since he's been on Raw. I think you could probably, if you want to have him go face, you potentially have him go face and feud with Cody Rhodes. I think those two together, with how far Cody's progressed, when most people thought he was going to go nowhere and Ted was going to take off, those two could probably work a pretty solid feud. If not, go back to become a pretty solid tag team again. Tyson Kidd, you know, when he broke free from the Hart Dynasty, he became a heel and they gave him a giant bodyguard, and it went nowhere. Hopefully he goes back to doing what he does best, and that's being a decent high flyer in the ring. Maybe we'll see him take on Yoshitatsu. Maybe we'll take on Sin Cara. You know, there's more things to do for him on SmackDown than there was on Raw. To me, to the SmackDown. Well, that therefore pretty much fully builds out what you wanted to do for bringing back the tag team division there. They can probably go from Tamina being a face and the Usos being a heel, them just being straight heels. Maybe they'll be an effective tag team again. Tyler Rex. Next. Alex Riley to SmackDown. Again, Riley has got some fantastic potential, you know. But currently on Raw, he was kind of just like a bigger Miz. You know, seeing what he can do on his own will be very, very unique and interesting. You know, he definitely screams, you know, stiff, offensive, lower mid-card, been able to progress up to mid-card, maybe even upper mid-card heel. Beth Phoenix to Raw. What I'm looking forward to see with Beth Phoenix coming to Raw is Karma. Karma and Phoenix will make an amazing feud. Period. Period. You know, and some of the heel divas on SmackDown are on Raw are kind of meh, kind of wishy-washy. You put them in there with a good old-fashioned, you know, face Beth Phoenix, or you turn her heel. And then you have two dominant heels and a bunch of, you know, women who they can make look absolutely fantastic. And then the final one. This is the one that I'm probably the most, you know, irritated with. I actually like Sheamus. Yes, I'm a Triple H mark, and Sheamus is the guy who laid up Triple H, but still, I think he did a phenomenal job. You know, he came in, no one thought he was going to be seen at TLC. He did it, became champion. Then became a two-time champion. Became a King of the Ring winner, and is the current U.S. champion. That's a pretty decent, you know, couple years in the E right there. As well as being someone saying, you know what, I took the game out for like a year. He's got some impressive credentials. And knowing that he's over there as the U.S. champion, I'm hoping to see what happens if he feuds with Barrett. If he feuds with Barrett and they unify the title, I think that could be an absolute, like, really could be a huge push for either one of those two guys. You know, I do appreciate James can do in the ring. I think he's got a fantastic look, really good mic skills, and a great in-your-face style. So out of all of them, you know, as cool as he does things come over to Raw, as well as Kofi, I wish that Sheamus could have stayed on Raw, but I know putting him on SmackDown, that means he's become that much bigger and that much better. Then he comes back over to Raw, he'll probably again be back in the world, be back into the heavyweight championship contention.